A TikTok influencer is proving once again that sex sells, even when it comes to, yes, national parks. Kim Tanner is behind a trend called Park Talk, which features risque videos and raunchy song lyrics to promote awareness of the parks. Tanner says that she's concerned about federal funding cuts and new mining activity. Similar accounts are popping up daily, highlighting Joshua Tree National Park, Mount Hood, and Mount Rainier. And Kim Tanner joins us live this morning from San Diego. Kim, great to have you this morning. It was really fun watching some of these videos, not always suitable for work, but we'll get into that in a moment. What made you want to start this account, and are you surprised by how popular it's become?
I wanted to start it because I saw last year, late last year, Mount Hood and Mount Rainier were beefing on TikTok, and I thought that was pretty funny. And I saw other mountains joining in on the trend as the year went on, like through December and then into January. And I go to Joshua Tree all the time. I don't live too far from it. It's my favorite park. I have a ton of content from there, so I decided why not? I'm going to join in this. So I joined in early February.
Right.
And no, I did not expect it to turn into this. I never expected to be on CNN. So this has definitely turned into something very unexpected.
Well, we are certainly glad to have you here on CNN. Why do you think it became so popular? What's resonating with other people? Is it the catchy music, which, as I said, isn't suitable for work, but makes it really fun? Is it some of the thirst traps? I mean, what is it that's resonating with people? Or is it the real issue that you're trying to sort of bring awareness to?
I think it's probably a little bit of everything. We're able to show the parks and the waterfalls and the mountains and all of that in a way that the National Park Service can't for obvious reasons. One, they can't be on TikTok, but also they can't do videos like we can. And I think it's a combination of you don't expect like Joshua Tree National Park to pop up and have gay country music. It's the shock factor, I think, is a big part of it. And when you can mix that in with the messaging of what's going on with the budget cuts and the parks and the forests and the mining and drilling and the sale of public lands and all of that, it just starts to resonate with people. We're able to connect with them in a different way because we can
Mhm.
draw them in through this shock factor, whether it's a thirst trap or an inappropriate song, and then
Yeah.
get the message in front of them.
Kim, there's sometimes this critique when it comes to these really popular social media campaigns that it's a lot of awareness, but it's just awareness and it stops there. How are you hoping these videos go beyond just awareness? What are you hoping comes from this?
Well, personally, I have a link tree on my profile, and in there I do have calls to action. So links to different places you can go to send letters to Congress, things like that. I've also kind of in early conversations about fundraising for organizations like the National Park Foundation. So we do want to do, or at least I know I do, and I'm pretty sure the other accounts feel the same way. Like we do want to make sure we have that call to action and telling people how they can help, because that's the
Mhm.
biggest question we get is like, what can I do? Like, how can I help?
Yeah.
So putting out that information of, here's really easy ways to send letters to Congress, make these phone calls, here's things that are happening, and here's what you can do to help.
Yeah. We've noticed that some of the posts on the unofficial Joshua Tree page that you run seem to ridicule President Trump. Do you fear any sort of retaliation at all?
No, not at all. I mean, if he wants to, okay, I'm not worried about it.
Hmm. Hmm. Let me ask because, I think a lot of people who have causes that they're passionate about would love to have the type of reach you've been able to have. And you were able to do it, if I'm not mistaken, in a pretty short period of time. What message would you have, Kim, for someone who says, I'm really passionate about cause X. How do I create a social media following like you have?
Um, so that's going to be difficult because, I'm just doing it on my own. I don't work for anybody. So I don't have to follow brand guidelines or messaging or anything like that. I can do whatever I want. So I think that it makes it a little bit harder. But I would say beyond that, just do what you can to really understand your audience and how you're going to connect to them and how you're going to draw them in. If you can do some kind of shock factor that you can do, like if you're doing this for a business or a nonprofit, something that you're allowed to do, or maybe you can use a song that's a little bit more risque, but not that risque. That kind of stuff does tend to pull people in because again, they don't expect that. I would say look at marketing from like BarkBox. They're really good at this, and so is Duolingo. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're just doing it amplified. And I think that helps a lot when you're able to do something that people just don't expect.
Yeah, I noticed on your LinkedIn that you have a marketing background, but the success that you've been able to generate with this account is also on your LinkedIn. Do you think that this might sort of represent a pivot or a career change? I mean, where does this go from here?
I have no idea. I didn't expect it to blow up like this. But I mean, I have been looking for a job for over a year. And, if this helps me find a job, great. If not, great. I never expected this to happen to begin with. So it was never a thought. But in terms of a career change, I mean, I'm definitely open to a career change. I don't necessarily need to stay in marketing. I have no idea. I just don't know where this is gonna take me. All I
Yeah.
know is I would actually love to work for Joshua Tree National Park. So if you're watching, I'm interested once you're able to hire again.
Yeah.
Um, but beyond that, I mean, I have no idea. I'm open to a lot of different things right now.
Well, I know that they are aware, and the National Park Service is aware of the popularity of the accounts, and so here's hoping that maybe your message gets out to those who you want it to hear. Kim Tanner, we appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.